Basketball is a very physical game. Now, it's not as physical as football is, but it's still pretty up there. And whenever you get players that are consistently physically contacting each other, and whenever you put them in high pressure situations such as these, you may come to find that there's going to be instances where these players do get involved in some heated exchanges with one another. But oftentimes we do see some examples of said players going as far as to getting into fights with one another.
Trying to get open and late in the game, it's anything goes.
He takes a little swing that misses after he objected to James stepping over him.
So after hours and hours of sifting through footage, I've decided to go through every single time LeBron James has been in a fight in his career and show you his best ones. Now, bear in mind, I understand that this video is probably going to get copyright claimed. So if you typically watch my content and you aren't subscribed yet, please take a moment to subscribe, because as soon as I hit 500,000 subscribers or 50,000 people turn on my notifications, I will be going full-time on YouTube. But in the event that my YouTube channel ever gets taken down because of copyright claims, guys, I'm going to be uploading my content also to IGTV. It's the same as my YouTube channel name, and I also made a TikTok of the same name recently as well. Now, since I'm getting copyright claim for this video, probably, I hope you don't mind this brief message from our sponsor, ExpressVPN.
A few years ago, I traveled to Taiwan, and while I was in Taiwan, I realized that, wow, their Netflix is significantly better. Like, they have shows that I could never get in the United States, and I'm sure most of you guys that have traveled outside the United States could agree with this. There's some better shows and some different shows on Netflix in different countries. And I began to wonder, how could I gain access to these shows despite being in the United States? And that's how I discovered ExpressVPN. So for those of you guys that don't know what ExpressVPN is, or what a VPN is for that matter, is pretty much imagine whenever you are browsing the internet, you are giving a postcard to a mailman without any envelope on it whatsoever. This mailman could read the message on that postcard and do whatever the heck he wants with it, because your IP address is connected to an unencrypted internet network, which means people could freaking hack you over this stuff, man, because your info is there. That mailman that could read the postcard is the equivalent to some guy that could easily get your information or steal your identity over the internet. And that's where a VPN comes into play. A VPN creates a secure tunnel between your device and the internet, so it pretty much is the envelope over that postcard, and it makes sure that you are safe from any crazy hackers. A VPN also allows you to anonymously browse the web by masking your IP address, so you can switch your location to anywhere in the world and watch whatever country Netflix you'd like. Now, there's a lot of VPNs out there. Why should you choose ExpressVPN? ExpressVPN has the fastest speeds because they invest in premium servers. 2, most of these other companies will just sell you their VPN and you'll have no point of reference or no one to talk to after. But ExpressVPN has 24/7 customer support. 3, it's easy to use. And 4, they are the top rated VPN provider. And ExpressVPN is so confident that you're going to love their product that if you do not enjoy their product, there's a 30-day money-back guarantee where you would get your refund, no questions asked. So go to expressvpn.com/FlightMike, or just use my promo code FlightMike at expressvpn.com so you can start enhancing your speeds and protecting your privacy.
So let's start with something light in the prime of LeBron James's career. Sean Livingston misses a shot, which allows LeBron James to grab the rebound and take it in on transition like he's really good at doing. Well, Mirza Teletovic was studying the game film, and his head coach Jason Kidd told him, anytime you see LeBron James charging at you, do whatever you can to wrap him up. You see, the problem with being LeBron James is he's 6'9", and at this point of his career, 260 pounds of pure freight train force running at you. So it might be hard to get a nice clean grasp around him without, accidentally wrapping your arm around his neck, and this sets LeBron James off. Just a side note here, I am very shocked and surprised that there hasn't been a single NBA team that has replicated this jersey design by the Miami Heat. The fact that each player is rocking a jersey with their nicknames on the back of their jersey as opposed to their actual name is probably the coolest thing I've ever seen done on jersey design in quite some time, and I really hope some other basketball team replicates this in the future. This next one is an absolute classic between Joakim Noah, who was known as the enforcer of the Chicago Bulls during a time where the Chicago Bulls actually posed a pretty big threat to LeBron James's championship aspirations. Now, bear in mind, this is during LeBron's first stint with the Cleveland Cavaliers, and you can see Joakim Noah talking mess to LeBron as he's shooting free throws. Now, of course, if you're Joakim Noah, you're pretty upset that your team is down by 19 points, but this would set off a chain reaction of trash talk between Joakim Noah and LeBron James just kind of subtly shrugging it off. Joakim Noah would go on to have this infamous interview where he would say nobody goes to Cleveland for vacation, which, by the way, he's kind of right. And it would set off a pretty cute little rivalry, which would result in LeBron James besting all of Joakim Noah's teams every single time. Now, to give you an idea of how long this rivalry would last, this is LeBron James's second stint with the Cleveland Cavaliers. So it's been 4 years since that first clip that I've shown you. And after dunking on Joakim Noah, you could see that Joakim has some choice words for LeBron James. And that eventually escalates into something even further with one of Joakim Noah's teammates. Now, look, if you're going to ask me, it seems like all the talking over the years finally got to LeBron James, and this was kind of him standing up to Joakim Noah finally with a statement dunk by dunking over him. Especially if you're Joakim Noah, you're kind of making your living as a defensive enforcer. Joakim wasn't really known as an offensive star at that point. He was kind of pretty much what Draymond Green was to the Golden State Warriors, only not as much offense and significantly more defense on the interior. So dunking on him and then finally talking mess to Joakim definitely drew the ire of Joakim Noah and just added fuel to this LeBron James versus Chicago Bulls rivalry. Alright, so this might be my favorite clip ever, because in this clip we finally get to see some physical action go down between LeBron James and another member of the Chicago Bulls, more notably Nazr Mohammed. Now, one thing you got to pay attention to this is, again, someone else going for the hard foul on LeBron James. And you have to understand, at this point of LeBron's career, the common hater argument against him, and it's still something you hear a lot to this day, is the fact that he would go out of his way to pout and cry and over-exaggerate the fouls that were not being called against him. So, therefore, whenever he would get fouled, he would react very aggressively to it, as you could see with this clip against Nazr Mohammed, where he tried to swing away the hard foul against him, and Nazr Mohammed obviously didn't appreciate the brute strength of LeBron James, and he came back and actually shoved him so hard that LeBron James fell to the ground. Now, personally, I don't think Nazr Mohammed has the actual strength to shove LeBron James to the ground. I feel like LeBron James kind of flopped in order to get an additional call or maybe a technical foul on the Chicago Bulls. But if you look at it from a different angle, it looks like LeBron James didn't really see the shove coming. So I think Nazr Mohammed caught him when he was blindsided, and as a result, Nazr Mohammed got ejected for this. Now, this is what I like to call a little glimpse into the future, because I expect to see a couple of more skirmishes between Patrick Beverley and LeBron James, and I expect them to be somewhat similar to what you're seeing here. Over here, you can see Patrick Beverley goes ahead and tries to take a charge, and for some reason, LeBron James stays on the ground after he runs over Patrick Beverley for longer than usual. I think it's because Patrick Beverley's starting to act a fool, and of course LeBron James is trying not to make a big deal out of it. And then apparently both sides of the Houston Rockets and the Cleveland Cavaliers come through and try to subdue both of them and keep them on each other. I've never seen anything like this before, but it was a very interesting situation. Now I know what a lot of you guys might be thinking. Yo, Mike, these aren't really fights. These are more like heated exchanges or skirmishes. Well, I promised you guys the most physical altercations and fights of LeBron James's career. And you have to understand that LeBron James played in a era that wasn't really as physical as the previous era. Now, sure, you could make an argument that the level of defense is at a similar caliber, but for the most part, you don't really see players getting into fist fights in this NBA's generation. Now, If you want me to cover an older generation, like say Michael Jordan's or Kobe Bryant's, let me know in the comment section down below, and I'll make sure to get that done for you guys in the future. This was more of a first episode type video to see if you guys would like to see more videos like this in the future.